You got the raise, you moved to the nicer apartment, you upgraded the car, and somehow you still feel broke. Sound familiar? You're earning more than ever before. Your bank account is technically fine, but there's this constant feeling like it's never enough. Like you're always just one paycheck away from disaster. Here's what nobody tells you. That feeling of being poor, even when you're not, is not a money problem. It's a brain problem. And in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why your brain does this and the 4 psychological traps keeping you feeling broke no matter how much you earn. Let's get into it. Let me ask you something. Remember the first time you got a salary increase? That feeling of, finally I can relax, finally I have enough. How long did that feeling last? For most people, a few weeks, maybe a month, and then back to normal. Back to that low-level financial anxiety, back to feeling like it's still not quite enough. This isn't a character flaw. This isn't a lack of discipline. This is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. You see, your brain has one job above everything else, to protect you from threats. And in the modern world, financial insecurity is one of the biggest threats it perceives. So it keeps you in a constant state of alert, always scanning for danger, always telling you this isn't safe yet, always feeling like you need more. But here's the cruel twist. Even when you get more, your brain adjusts its baseline, and the feeling of not enough comes right back. There are 4 specific psychological reasons this happens, and once you understand them, everything changes. Trap number 1, hedonic adaptation. Here is one of the most well-documented findings in psychology. Humans adapt to almost everything. The new car smell fades, the bigger apartment becomes normal, the salary raise becomes the new baseline. Scientists call this hedonic adaptation. Your brain's remarkable ability to return to the same emotional baseline no matter what changes in your life. Studies show that lottery winners within 12 months of winning millions report the same happiness levels as before they won. Let that sink in. Millions of dollars, same happiness 1 year later. Your brain is not built to enjoy what it already has. It is built to chase what it doesn't have yet. The fix? Gratitude journaling, but not the vague kind, specific gratitude. Every morning, write one specific thing you have now that you desperately wanted 3 years ago. This manually resets your brain's baseline, and it works. Trap number 2, lifestyle inflation. Here is a simple equation your brain runs automatically. More income equals more spending. You got a 20% raise, your brain immediately starts planning a 20% upgrade. Nicer restaurant, better phone, bigger apartment. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent killer of wealth building. Think about it this way. 2 people, same starting salary, same job. Person A gets a raise and immediately upgrades everything. Person B gets the same raise but keeps their old lifestyle and invests the difference. 10 years later, Person A still feels broke despite earning more. Person B has a growing investment portfolio and actually feels financially secure. Same income, completely different outcome. The fix? The 50% rule. Every time you get a raise, spend the 50% of the increase, invest the other 50% immediately before lifestyle catches up. Your brain never misses what it never had. Trap number 3, relative deprivation. Here's a question that reveals everything. Would you rather earn $70,000 a year in a world where everyone else earns $40,000, or earn $100,000 a year in a world where everyone else earns $200,000? Studies show that most people choose the first option, even though they'd earn $30,000 less in absolute terms. Why? because your brain doesn't measure wealth in absolute terms. It measures wealth relative to the people around you. This is called relative deprivation, and social media has turned it into a weapon against us. When you scroll Instagram, you're not comparing yourself to the average person. You're comparing yourself to the top 1% of everyone's highlight reel. And no matter how much you earn, there's always someone richer in your feed, which means your brain always feels behind, always feels inadequate, always feels poor. The fix? Compare yourself downward, not upward. Once a week, remind yourself, if you earn $34,000 or more per year, you're in the top 1% of global earners. Your brain needs context. Give it the right context. Trap number 4, and this one goes deepest, the scarcity mindset. Hara researchers ran a study on sugarcane farmers in India. They measured cognitive function before harvest, when farmers were cash poor, and after harvest, when they had money. The same farmers scored significantly lower on IQ tests when they were poor. Poverty, even temporary poverty, literally reduces cognitive capacity. But here's the shocking part. You don't actually have to be poor to experience the scarcity mindset. If your brain believes resources are scarce, it behaves as if they are. Every time you check your bank account nervously, every time you feel guilty spending money, every time you say, "I can't afford that," instead of "I'm choosing not to spend on that," your brain locks into scarcity mode. And scarcity mode is exhausting. It crowds out creativity, joy, and rational decision-making. The fix? Language shift. Replace "I can't afford it" with "I'm choosing not to spend on that." Replace "I'm broke" with "I'm building." Here is the truth that changes everything. Feeling wealthy has almost nothing to do with how much money you have. It has everything to do with how your brain is interpreting your situation. Two people with the same bank balance can feel completely differently about their finances. One feels poor, one feels secure. The difference is not the number, the difference is the brain. And now you know exactly how yours works. If this video hit different, hit that like button and subscribe, because every single week we go deep into the psychology of money that nobody else is talking about. And next week, we're covering why your brain avoids investing, and it has nothing to do with laziness. See you there.